My jaw is on the floor. My jaw is on the floor because I didn't think these people would be this nasty, this nasty. And oh my God, Kanye has my jaw on the floor because I didn't expect her to do what she did. I did not expect. Yes, I expected her to be, very malicious in regards Caesar, but her and Isaac. Okay, it is what it is. Hey there, thanks for stopping by, Girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing the Ultimatum South Africa, Season 1, Episode 3. I've been meaning to say this. I have to give it to South Africa because South Africa has really been doing quite well, actually, in regards production, and the production for this Ultimatum South Africa is amazing. I know they had a couple of episodes of the challenge filmed in South Africa as well, so it's lovely to see them prospering. I love the setting and everything. Anyway, I digress. So we have Caesar's still struggling with the fact that the person she wanted to pick her didn't pick her, so she has her breakdown and has to be comforted. And oh my God, Kanye, I don't understand her beef with Caesar. I really don't. I think it's more jealousy than anything. I hate to say that, but that's the way it's coming across to me, because otherwise Caesar hasn't really said or done anything that, Kanye might find offensive, outside of the fact that maybe, Nkateko has suddenly become interested in Caesar. Maybe that's her beef. So when she comes to the table, Caesar chooses Nkateko, and Nkateko has a conversation and sort of says he's sort of stuck between Tabby and Caesar because he got along with both of them. But at the end of the day, he picks Caesar, which I'm happy he did. I really am happy he did, because I think she'll be good for him, because she's a totally different end of the spectrum when you compare her to Kanye. So, and I think this is why Kanye is not happy, because she said, oh, I think it's just gameplay. It's not genuine. And it's like, how do you know? Unless you spend time with them, how do you know? They're not going off physical attraction. They're going off sort of a deeper connection that is way stronger than what you are perceiving it to be. So if I were you, I'll take a seat, watch them, and see what happens. And so I can't wait to see them as a couple. I can't wait to see how they'll grow and function. So now we have three couples. So we have Nola and Ruth. Genesis is coupled up with Courtney. I don't know about that couple. And Nkateko has coupled up with Caesar, and I love them as a couple. I hope they actually do very well. I'm heartbroken for Level. I don't think she deserves this. One, I don't think she deserved to have been brought on the show by someone who didn't appreciate her value, who didn't appreciate her worth. And then for her to have to stand up and pick someone and have him say, no, I don't want her. I am heartbroken, given the fact that the partner that brought her onto the show has done nothing but flirt with anything in his skirt. Nolan has flirted with everyone, and you could see his face when Levo chose Isaac and Isaac said, I'll pass. You could see the sarcasm on his face, and it's like, this is not it. This is not it. If you really liked this girl as much as you say you like her, and if you've been with her for 1.5 years, at least have empathy for her. At least show you care for her. Don't treat her like the scum of the earth. Don't ignore her the way Caesar was ignored by her guy when she was crying. Of all the people there, you should actually be comforting her and be consoling her. So she then went for her second option, which was Aiden. I think because she just felt defeated and she had no other choice, because obviously we all know that Lindell, I don't think they've had any communication at all in regards their connection or what's going on. So her only other option was Aiden. Aiden was sort of stuck between Lebo and Tabby, and he, I think, wanted Tabby. That's my impression that I get. But at the end of the day, I think he felt bad about refusing Lebo a second time. I think this is why he ended up going with Lebo. And that was sweet and very generous of him. It shows that he's a true man, because he has empathy, for somebody else, and not just focused on himself and what's in his own interest. I hope he grows from this experience. I think Lebo is going to be caring. She's going to be non-toxic. She's going to be very good for him. So I love that for him. And so, I don't know. Isaac is a jerk. Is a joke, because how dare he refuse to go with Lebo? What's bad about her? I think he wanted to be with an it girl. I think he wanted someone who's pretty, and sadly this is going to backfire, because Kanye has not shown her best self as of yet. So the idea that he thinks suddenly she's going to show it, well, we're here to sit and watch. So Isaac refuses to couple up with Lebo and says he wants to couple up with Kanye. So then the choice is now left to Kanye to decide whether or not she wants to couple up with him. And for me, I really don't know. That's going to be toxic. Is it just me? Is it just me? Please tell me. I think now it makes sense, because I was surprised seriously when Tabby and Lindell went on that random date, and I didn't understand why they needed the random date, just before the decision. And I think, this is my opinion, I think the producers had a lot of input into who coupled up with whom. And I think this is why, because they wanted Lindell to couple up with Tabby, I think this is why they gave them that date and the opportunity to sit down and talk and see if there was anything there. Because otherwise, it doesn't make sense to me how they ended up together. Yes, they had the painting class, as she said, but I don't think it was sufficient to say this is why they're choosing to couple up. It didn't make sense. I don't know whether it's just me, but to me personally, I didn't get it. And so they were the last couple to couple up, and I think they're cute. I like the fact that Genesis was nervous because he was saying, oh, now I'm worried because he's a buff guy, he's good looking and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I think some people should get coupled. At least that will help them grow as people. And so, yes, they might not be sexually attracted, people like Aiden and Lebo, but I think they're going to help each other develop and grow and realize the truth about what they're looking for in a partner and what they need in a partner. So I'm happy about this. Anyway, at the end of the day, we have 6 new couples for the 3-week trial marriage. So we have Isaac is now with Kanye, Genesis is with Courtney, Tabby is with Lindell, Nola is with Ruth, Nkateko is with Sizakele, and Aiden is with Lebo. Here's my opinion. I think Isaac wanted the pretty girl. That's why he chose her. I think Genesis and Courtney, there was something there. There might have been an attraction. There might have been this sort of chemistry, something that they wanted to explore. It makes sense to me. Tabby and Lindell, I think that was just what was left on the plate, as they were the last to choose. I don't think there was anything there either emotionally, physically. I don't quite understand. They are the couple that I don't understand. Nola and Ruth, we all know they want to bang. That's it. Nkateko and Sizakele, I think if there's a couple that can leave the experiment as a new couple, I think it can be them. I think they have a stronger connection than what Nola and Ruth have. I think what Nola and Ruth have is physical. The other two, I think it's more emotional, psychological, and maybe spiritual. And then Aiden and Lebo. Aiden, I think, is going to be very good for Lebo. He's going to help her through the transition of this process and help her discover herself and what she wants from a guy and what she wants in a relationship. So I can't wait to see them grow as well as a couple. Oh my God. I'm actually pleasantly surprised, very pleasantly surprised. Am I shocked that Lindell and Tabby are getting along? No, they both seem like people who are very accommodating. So yes, they might have been last pick, but I like how comfortable they were around each other, how they actually helped each other sort of pick Tabby's nightie for the night, which was good. With Aiden and Lebo, it's going to be a struggle for them. It's going to be a struggle because obviously, yes, they've chosen one another, but they were not each other's first or each other's top. So it's going to be a struggle to sort of get there. I hope they find a way. We really didn't see Genesis and Courtney. We didn't see much of them. So I don't know what happened on their first night. And then with Ruth and Nola, I don't know. Watch the space, because why is she telling him to behave himself in bed? Why is she telling him to behave himself? So that means there's a sexual attraction there. That means that they both know they want to go there. They must have had conversations about it, because if you look at Nkateko and Caesar, they never said anything about behaving in bed. Yes, there is an attraction that I didn't realize was there until they sat down and they started talking. So I don't know. With Ruth and Nola, I don't know whether it's going to fizzle out once they've had sex. Yes, they spoke about the fact that she hasn't met Isaac's family and she doesn't know whether they actually know that she's there, and she brought him so that he could open up, and it's like, okay, it is what it is. With Caesar and Nkateko, Oh my God, they are a revelation for me. The way they were so comfortable and at ease. And I like the fact that he was able to tell her that, Caesar, you were my top. You were one of my tops. So I am happy to be here, which was reassuring, in my opinion, for her, because obviously she's got the anxiety that maybe he's not happy to be with me. And so to hear him say, you are my top. So I am happy. Don't ever question that. And I don't know what they were doing in bed, because once they turned out the lights, they had the quilt pulled up. I don't think they did anything naughty, but I think they must have had conversations away from the cameras. I think that's the opinion that I'm getting. Oh my God. Actually, I hadn't noticed it until now. The fact that Caesar came in with Lyndall as a couple, and the way he was standoffish towards her really crushed her. And so I hadn't realized, it just dawned on me now when I was looking at her and Nkateko, and I realized that, oh, now she's actually got someone who's paying her attention, someone who's making her feel loved and cared for, someone who's making her feel comfortable. They played truth or dare, and it was so cute to watch how relaxed they were. And then the kiss, okay. I think Lyndall needs to look out, because I think his girl might be going. I think she is falling for Nkateko. If they're not clever, she's going to be gone. They were very comfortable. Even when she said, I want you to be a horse for 2 minutes and I'm going to ride you. He could have easily have said to her, no, I don't want to do it. But he did it because it made her happy. And you could see how giggly and giddy she was. And the fact that he was saying, where's your whip and stuff. And they were sort of role playing, and they were meshing very well, which was creating a great bond. And I think the kiss brought up some sparks. Obviously Tabby is now with Lyndall, and so they as well seem to be trying to make the most out of their situation. The fact that they're saying that there's this physical thing, according to Lyndall, that he feels attracted to Tabby, which is good. They did go to the gym on a gym date, which I thought was cute, because he's someone who's physically fit, so it was good for her, because she said she hasn't been to the gym in a while. And so for him to be there and reintroduce her to the gym is something that she was really pleased about. So I like that for them, and I'm happy that they're together. They seem to be doing great. All the couples, obviously it's early days, and I'm surprised that Kanye actually cleaned up and got a cake for Isaac for his birthday. Surprise. Wonders shall never seem to exist. But hey, we'll see how long that lasts before they explode. Because in my opinion, I feel like Isaac and Kanye are going to be the toxic couple. And I think Isaac knew that in order for him to get a lot of attention or to get a lot of airtime, his best opportunity or his best chances of getting that would be with Kanye, because otherwise I don't understand why he chose her. Courtney and Genesis, I'm surprised we barely saw anything of them. I don't know whether it's because Courtney had to work, because when she came in, she was carrying a bag, so I assume she was coming from work. But at least they could have shown us more than them just taking a bite of their burger, and that's the end of it. I expected more from them. But then the producers will skip over people that they feel are not entertaining or are not toxic enough, and they'll look for where the drama is. And so I think Nola and Ruth had this conversation. They were cooking, and then they had a conversation with him saying, I've never felt a woman's love, I've never felt this. And it's like, you're in a relationship with someone. You've been in a relationship for a while. So please, you can say you haven't felt a mother's love, but to say you haven't been loved by someone, I don't get it. Why would you bring her to the ultimatum then? Is it she's not loving you the way you want to be loved? Is that it? And for Ruth to say, oh, I'm worried that, me being in a couple with Nola puts my relationship at risk. They both knew they were sexually attracted to one another. They knew there was that spark, that thing that they wanted to explore, and they were trying to run away from it. And I think this is why she was planning on picking Lyndall, even though she didn't really like him. I think it was a safety net for her. And so for them to make out and then have sex, am I surprised? No. We all saw this coming. If we're honest, we all saw this coming, and no one should be surprised that they did it, and they were the first couple to do it. I'm sorry. Okay. I feel some type of way. I feel attacked personally by Kanye. Okay, so the girls meet up, and I think she dictated who she wanted to meet up with, because she met up with Tabby and Courtney, and I think she refused to meet up with the other girls. I think she thinks that she's better than them, so she doesn't want to be in the same space with them, because we all know she's got this beef with Caesar for some reason that nobody else knows, and it's just been heightened by the fact that Caesar is now with Nkateko, and I think this is something else that is eating at Kanye, but she will never admit to that. She'll never admit that she's jealous. So the girls are talking, and she's sort of saying, "Oh, I don't know why I'm meeting up with them. I don't know whether they genuinely want to know what's going on with me, or they just want to be." She was more, let's say, like gossip mongers. That's what they're after. It's not like they really want to help her grow in her connection. And for her to say that Caesar only chose Nkateko just because she wanted to spite her doesn't make sense. Even the other girls had to say no. Caesar was saying that Genesis and Nkateko were her top. And so because Genesis was taken by Courtney, this is why she ended up on Nkateko, and she's like, oh, well, I would have preferred Nkateko had gone with Courtney because Courtney seems to be, they had a greater connection. I think she thought if he went with Courtney, then there wasn't a risk that he would stay with her. I think she's intimidated by Caesar, but Kanye won't admit to it. And this is why she's making it out like, Caesar is beneath her. She's always attention seeking. She's always fake. Kanye is fake. So if he is fake, why do you want to marry him then? Why do you want to marry him? I don't know why the girls didn't ask her that. If he is fake, break up with him and move on to the next one. And you'll find your person that's genuine. There's no need for you to be wasting somebody else's time, bringing them to the experiment, saying you're giving them an ultimatum, and yet you know that you're not seriously, or they're not genuine in their feelings or affection towards you. That doesn't make sense. So I didn't like that. I really didn't like that. It left a very bad taste in my mouth. Tabo and Aiden, they are the friendship couple. In every season of the Ultimatum, there's always a friendship couple. And it seems they are the friendship couple, which is sad, but I hope it allows them to grow and sort of build each other and sort of point each other in the right direction of what they need to change in regards themselves. You had Isaac ordering flowers for Kanye, and I was like, okay, it is what it is. Anyway, Kanye was complimenting him that he does most of the stuff. He does the cleaning, he does the, the tidying, the cooking, and so that's good for her. Genesis apparently doesn't do much, and it's like, but he made you burgers. At least appreciate him for that. At least he tried. He didn't just sit there and just expect you to come back from work and do everything for you, Courtney. You then have Tavo and Lindell having a conversation, and getting ready for the night, and they seem to be getting on very well as well. I'm actually pleasantly surprised that they're getting on. I didn't think they would, but it seems they are getting along. It seems there's some sort of attraction or bond building. And so am I surprised that Lindell is doing well? No, because he really had checked out of his connection. He had checked out with his partner. So I'm not surprised that he's doing well with Tabby. I think anyone he would have done very well because he's checked out of his relationship. Because he's saying he's starting to develop feelings. And it's like, this is day 2, day 3, buddy. What about when it comes to at the end of the week or the week 2 or 3? I'm speechless. I'm speechless. The end of this episode had my jaw on the floor because I never expected this from Kanye. I never expected this. The fact that she kissed Isaac has my jaw on the floor because of how she was making herself out to be like this high and mighty. So I think Isaac knew how to charm her. He knew how to charm her and to get what he wanted because he took her out on a date. He said for some good African cooked food, and then he bought her flowers. They had rose petals on the floor, on the bed. And so when they came back, he walked her into that surprise and she was so ecstatic and she kissed him. And it's like, I think they did the nasty because they immediately closed the door to the cameras. So I think they did the nasty as soon as the cameras left. And the cameras, obviously, because it's an African show, I don't think they would want to show them having sex. I think if it was an American show, we might have seen a bit more of what happened. Even what happened with Ruth and Noel, we didn't see exactly what happened. We just heard Ruth's voice. So I think there is some sort of guideline into how far they can actually push it and what they're allowed to show. But I think they did do the nasty. And then Nkateko and Caesar, they are sweet. I don't want to fall in love with them because I hate when I fall in love with a couple and then things just go left because they have this emotional connection, and I like, irregardless of what Kanye was saying about them not being genuine, I like the fact that they had this conversation and they were talking about, do you want children? When do you see yourself wanting children? And Caesar was able to open up to say, I don't want children. I don't think I want children at the moment because it seems she's an only child who was born to a single mother, and so she's sort of hesitant because she's worried people will leave her. And I think the idea of her having children, she's worried that, will my partner want to stay or will they want to leave? That's the impression that I got. I like the fact that they both recognize that they are developing feelings for one another. I like the fact that Caesar was able to vocalize that, I'm worried that I'm going to get my heart broken and I don't know whether I would be able to handle it, because I want you to be happy. I want my ex to be happy with or without me. And I think personally, Caesar is the type of woman Nkateko needs. I don't think he needs a Kanye. I think he needs to realize that it's time to move on from Kanye, and he needs somebody who's nurturing, someone who's caring, someone who's compassionate, empathetic, loving, and accommodating. And I think this is what embodies Caesar, and I think this is why they're getting along so well, and this is why they would make a better couple. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 2. Bye guys.